Hey friend, welcome to Self Transformed, a podcast redefining self-care through simple fitness, nutrition, and mindset habits. I'm your host, Emily Nichols, certified personal trainer, Whole30 coach, and Taco Tuesday enthusiast. Hey, I know the struggle is real when it comes to taking care of you. I too am a busy working mom who felt physically and emotionally drained until I took action on my own transformation journey. I finally found the solutions to feeling confident and living a healthy lifestyle that doesn't feel hard, and now I'm on a mission to equip you with sustainable tools to help transform your life from the inside out, guilt-free. Together, we will simplify your health and fitness into daily habits that don't feel like another thing on your long to-do list, but daily actions that light you up instead. So if you're ready to redefine self-care and step into your own self-transformation, then let's do this. You're listening to episode 117 of Self Transformed. Hey friend, welcome back to the show. I'm so glad you're here. Are you feeling a little run down lately and a little busy? I can feel the busyness coming with the holidays just around the corner. Just with it being the month of October, we took our kids to the pumpkin patch. We're on fall break in Florida, and then it's my youngest son's birthday. Then we have Halloween, and Thanksgiving's right there, and oh my goodness, there's Christmas. So I want you to take a big deep breath with me right here. Let's breathe in and out. You got it. And I'm here for you to help provide you more self-care tips to help you get through the holidays and beyond with these new healthy habits to help you feel your best from the inside out. And these healthy habits that our friends learn within STU, which is Self Transform You. It is my signature program, will help you develop these keystone healthy habits that are in place. So when life does get a little busy, a little roller coastery, if you will, you have these habits set in place to help you take care of yourself. So if you want to try out Self Transform You to get into the course right now, you can just go to selftransformu.com. That's the letter U. Because you are transforming you. I'm just giving you the tools. But also, I will be hosting Self Transform You live again, January 2022. You can head over to selftransformu.com/live if you want to get on the wait list to be able to do that in a group setting and have some more one-on-one interaction with me in order to start establishing some healthy habits for now and into the rest of your life. So, gang, today's episode, I am sharing a replay of a workshop I did in my client community, all on comparison. Every month in my client community and in my free Self-Transform podcast community, which I would love to have you be over there with us. If you're not already, just go to bit.ly/self-transformed-fam to be part of that group. There's always a link in the show notes too. But I have the ladies in the groups vote on what they would like to hear every month. And once you're a client of mine, you get free monthly coaching from me. Just a quick little self-development, self-care, fitness, nutrition, whatever the ladies vote on for the month. And they voted to talk about comparison this month. And I wanted to re-air it because since we are getting into that time where people are posting like all the magnificent things they're doing over the holidays with their kids, it's really easy to start comparing yourself. So this also leads into another workshop I'm getting ready to host in that free Facebook community, which I would love to have you come over and join us. Like I said, there's a link in the show notes. I'm going to be doing a workshop on jealousy. Okay, so we're talking about comparison today, but the biggest reason we want to talk about jealousy is because when we start with comparison's like a slippery slope to the emotion of jealousy. So comparison's almost like the act of, triggering in your mind, comparing yourself to something or someone, but then it turns into a slippery slope into the actual emotion of jealousy, which then can turn to envy, which we don't want to get to that point and let that take over our lives. So listen to this free workshop. It's a short one, only 10 minutes long, that I did with my gals, all about comparison, but then come over to the Facebook community because on Wednesday, the 27th of October at 12 p.m. Eastern, I'll be doing my free monthly workshop there, all on jealousy. Okay. how jealousy is actually an emotion, and it steals your joy by really just imposing unrealistic expectations on yourself. Okay, so if you've ever felt like that as well, come join us at bit.ly/self-transform-fam to join that free workshop on the 27th at 12 p.m. Eastern. These are mini workshops, so they're 15 minutes or less. They're quick because I know you are busy. If you can't watch it live, you can always catch the replay as well. But let's listen today. Sit back, get some notes handy, maybe open up your heart, see if maybe you're doing some of these comparison tendencies that we talked about in this workshop, and then I'll see you in the jealousy workshop on the 27th at 12 p.m. Eastern. See you then, girl. Good evening, friends. I hope you have had a lovely day, and your day is, I know, not over because you got all the things in the evening. I hope you are able to catch the replay of this or catch this coaching call live. As always, we do a monthly mini workshop just here in our client community as voted by you as far as the subject matter. And this month, friends, you all voted on tips to stop comparing. I love this subject matter. It's something we haven't talked about a lot on the podcast as well. So I'm really excited to dig into this with you all this evening. This will be super quick. We're not going to take a lot of time. We're going to take the time, though, to take some action today based on our conversation. So let's get it going. Let me share my screen with you all. So you have slides to look at. You can, if you're watching this from your phone, you can even take a screenshot of it to save it as well. All right, well, let's get into it. 3 tips to stop comparing. So if you always feel like you're trying to keep up with everyone else, then this is for you. So the goals for today, as always, to be brief, help you take action. We're going to redefine self-care. As always, today, we're going to do that via our mindset. So talking about comparison. You all know me. We've all worked together since you're my clients. Just a quick recap. I'm the host of the Self Transform podcast, certified personal trainer, Whole30 certified coach, behavior change specialist, wife, boy mom, and Taco Tuesday enthusiast. And I have been guilty of comparison too. I do it a lot. I think it's just human nature. So comparison is actually a biological response. So there was a professor of organizational behavior. He describes comparison this way. It's one of the most basic ways we develop an understanding of who we are, what we're good at, and what we're not so good at. Most of the time, the calculation is made in a split second. Okay, a split second in the background, and we don't even realize it. Okay, but when we dwell on the highlights of other people's lives, it can quickly become toxic. Okay, we are wired for connection. We've talked about the importance of community. That's why we have the client community here. We are wired for connection and belonging. And if we constantly compare ourselves to others, we're putting our happiness, confidence, and mental health at risk. So, what are the negative effects of comparison? Well, it's not so great. It's not so great. So, negative and anxious thoughts that are hard to come out of, known as rumination. Higher rates of anxiety and depression, overspending and effort to keep up with the Joneses. Gosh, I so relate to that. I am one, like if I'm going somewhere new, I feel like I need to get a new outfit. I want to find out what everyone is wearing. And I'll end up overspending, or I see someone have like a kitchen, like an air fryer. I'm like, oh, I need an air fryer. I didn't need an air fryer. But, you see people posting about things. You're like, okay, these are the things I need to do. And it's so easy to turn around and get things so quickly now that you end up overspending. So what are 3 tips to help you overcome comparison? What do they call it? Comparisonitis. All right. Number 1, gratitude. It's hard to compare, be anxious, mad, or sad when you're focused on what you're grateful for. Okay. If you've done STU with me before, I always recommend the 5-minute gratitude journal. It is a game changer. So do this in the morning, do this in the evening. It's a quick way to outline what you're grateful for, what you want the day to look like, what went right in the day, maybe what didn't go so right, but what you're ultimately most grateful for. Use the Notes app on your phone as well to list out what you're grateful for when you're in a moment of comparison. Okay. So if you find yourself scrolling on social media and you're like,
like looking at this girl or looking at that person or that family and be like, oh, well, they just have it all together and I don't. You need to have a trigger in your mind when you hear that to be like, okay, I'm going to open up my notes app and I'm going to write out there what I'm grateful for. Okay. Awesome. Number 2, focus on your strengths. This is a hard one, but this is a super powerful habit. So write down 3 strengths about yourself. That's hard. What are 3 things that you consider a strength about yourself? So be specific, be it professional, personal, whatever, and then expand on them. So just don't be like, okay, what are my strengths? Well, I am a really great public speaker. Like, why are you a public speaker? Oh, I'm able to speak about self-care to audiences and reach people and make an impact on other women's lives. Okay. That feels a lot more meaningful, doesn't it? Absolutely. The third tip I have for you today, I just totally muted myself, is to celebrate others. So don't feel like you're losing just because someone else is winning. I love that so much. Don't feel like you're losing just because someone else is winning. Genuinely celebrating others makes us happy. Okay, if you see someone got a new house or a promotion at work, or someone got some new shoes for that matter, be happy for them. Be genuinely happy and celebrate others. Trust me, it will all come back to you in the end. When you're putting that out there, it's going to come back to you as well. Okay, so here's your action or bonus tip. You know, I always don't want to leave you with just like, okay, here's your tips. Like, here's what you need to do. We talked about this in a workshop, a couple workshops back in the Self Transform podcast community. This is a big one. Unfollow, mute, or whatever you have to for folks on social media that you find yourself comparing to. Remove the triggers. You know who they are. You know who they are. If it's like a family member and you're like, oh, I don't necessarily want to like totally like unfollow them and make them mad or whatever, you can just mute them. Remove those triggers from your life. Okay. I know that's really hard to do, but we spend so much time on our phones and we find ourselves mindlessly scrolling on social media. I think it's really important for you to take action. This bonus tip is really important, and to unfollow or mute folks on social media. Okay. So just to recap, number 1, gratitude. Number 2, write down your strengths. And number 3, celebrate others. Those are 3 ways to help you overcome comparing yourself to others. Reminder, as always, STU, Self Transform You, the course is always available if you're feeling like you need a little bit more help. We do cover pretty heavily mindset work at the beginning of the course and taking those self-limiting beliefs out of your head and putting them on paper, for example, identifying those triggers, making these some new healthy habits in your life, not just for you physically, but also emotionally, mentally, all the things as well. So if you didn't get a chance to join us for STU Live, it will be back in January. So get on the wait list. If you want to do it in the live version, you can register for the course and do that on your own time. At any time, you can go to selftransformu.com to learn more. I'm always here to help you, friend. I'm always rooting for you. Make sure to stay connected with me on Instagram as well at Emily Nichols 22, and continue listening to Self Transform for some further inspiration. And you can always reach out to me, any questions you have, or just comment on this video below in our group. And I so appreciate you showing up tonight. I hope these tips were helpful, and let's stop comparing ourselves, girls. Let's just stop. I know it takes action. It takes building up that new habit muscle to stop doing that. But I think you can start doing that with these 3 tips that we shared with you this evening. Okay. All right, girls, we will catch up soon. Catch one of our bonus live workouts coming soon. And make sure to check out a new poll coming out for next month to vote on what next month's mini workshop should be about. Okay. All right. Sending you all a big virtual hug. I'll see you soon.
Hey girl, real quick, before you go, if you love today's show and know your girlfriends need to hear this message too, then grab a screenshot, post it to your Instagram stories, and tag me at Emily Nichols 22, because the more mamas out there hearing this message, the more empowered we'll all feel to take care of ourselves so we can pour from a full cup. Or the number one way you can thank me for this podcast is to leave a rating and review in iTunes. That way, more mamas will find the show here too. Love you and appreciate you, girlfriends. See you next time.